Good evening, my dear kids. Once again, welcome back. Myself, Mithun Raj, signing in from this part of the world, Cochin, Kerala. So, we were discussing about the 7th chapter of 10th Standard Science. Okay, so welcome to the world of science. I hope the last part was a very easy one, isn't it? Of course, it was. It was not a that much difficult chapter like electricity or magnetism. It's a very, very simple chapter, very small chapter. Almost 60% of the chapter we finished. Now, what we are going to study is studying control and coordination in plants. Okay, before going for the main part from the textbook, I want to show you something regarding this plants. Where is that coordination in plants? Okay, before that, let's see. So basically in plants most of the signals is being carried by hormones. Okay, plant hormones are there, and different plant hormones has different functions. So in this part what we are going to study, we will study about 5 different types of hormones. Okay, and their functions, what they are doing in our body, not body, sorry, plant's body. So types of movement in plants, mostly it can be divided into 2 types: movement dependent on growth, movement independent of growth. Not like human beings. Human beings at a particular age our growth halts, isn't it? At a particular age, mostly it is like 18 years old. When 18 to 20 years, at that time our growth is finished. After that we won't get any bigger. Understand? Most of our organs, most of our body parts are already matured during that time. Okay? After that, only fat cells are gaining more size in our body, not other cells. Understand? That means our growth is only like 15 to 18. In older times, it was 18 to 20. Nowadays, this new generation, children of at the age of 15 or 16 also, they are physically mature. Okay? So, leave it. But in the case of plants, they are growing till the end of their life, isn't it? Even if it is a 100-year-old plant, if we break one branch, what will happen? We can see small leaves coming out of that part. That means it is still growing. So that types of growth means that growth shows that the plant is alive. Okay, that movement. Growth means growth is also a movement. So in plants, 2 types of movements are there: movement dependent on growth, movement independent on growth. Movement dependent on growth means these hormones, they make the plants to grow. Independent on growth, I will give one example. See, this is movement dependent on growth. Understand? See, the seedling, they are during the time of germination. This is a small seed. Which plant I don't know. But slowly what will happen? This is day 1, day 2, 5, day 2nd week, 3rd week, 4th week, 5th week. See what is happening. Slowly the plant is growing. Okay, 2 types of growth: upside growth and downside growth. Okay, downside is the root and upside is the shoot. Okay, the stem and the leaves. So that is movement dependent on growth. Okay, lots of hormones are there which stimulates this growth, that we will study in detail. Movement independent to growth means, have you seen touch me not plant like this? It's a very small plant. Okay, it's very small plant. What is the property of this plant? If we touch the plant, it will respond to it. Understand? It is very sensitive to touch. If we touch it means the leaves will shrink inward. Understand? Very few plants are like this. That means movement independent of growth. These are the 2 growths in plant, but in this chapter we will study about movement dependent on growth. Okay, the coordination in plants. Let's see. How does a plant want to a bit more upside? Okay, now it is fine, right? Okay. How does the plant detect the touch and how the leaves move in response? Let's see. That control and coordination in plant, how is it possible? You know that there are no neurons in the plant. Understand? Mostly in plants, they use electrical chemical means to convey. Okay, chemical signals, sometimes it is converted into electrical signal because there is no neuron inside a plant. Let's see. In plants, there is no specialized tissue for the conduction of information. That means neurons are not present in plants. Okay, so messages from one part to another, it is not happening in a plant. The plants use electrical chemical means to convey this information from cell to cell. Okay, chemical, mostly chemical method. Let's see how plant cells change shape by changing the amount of water in them, resulting in swelling or shrinking. So you studied about plant cell. Okay, there is a big part in a plant cell called as the vacuole. Okay, vacuole is a very big space, just lots of water is there inside. So how the plant is able to change the shape of its body? Just by changing the amount of water inside the cell. Okay, if it want to become bigger, it will absorb more water, and if it want to be shrink, it will reduce the water inside them. Okay, that's leave it. That's not any important to us. Another example is growth in pea plant. Okay, a pea plant. Pea plant mostly in our areas it is very less. Okay, but lots of other rope plants or what do you say for that? Like at tendrils. You have seen bitter gourd, pumpkin and all. They are not. Their stem is not that much strong. Okay, they are like what? They are like ropes. It will grow like a rope. So most of them are called as rope plants and all. Okay, they have tendrils in them. See, this is the tendril. This picture you will identify, isn't it? See, this spring-like thing, they are called as tendrils. Understand? So this type of plant, they does not have a firm stem. Understand? Their stem is not that much strong. So it cannot, they does not have that stability to stand up. Understand? So they need some support. For example, what do you say for that? Pumpkin, watermelon, isn't it? Pumpkin, watermelon, bitter gourd, grapes, all these things are plants like this, which has tendril plants. Tendrils are this spring-like thing. What is the function of this thing? It will surround any other material. For example, other plant, other stick, other grill or wall, other trees. Wherever it has that stability, it will climb over that thing. Okay, so that why these tendrils are there. You know why this tendril is round in shape? There's a reason. Let's see. In plants like the pea plant, climb up other plants or fences by the means of tendrils. Tendrils means this spring-like thing. Okay, tell how it is done. These tendrils are sensitive to touch. Understand? They are sensitive to touch. If we touch this tendril, it won't grow in that part. Understand? If the tendril is growing straight, here, if it comes to touch with something, it will bend. Understand? That's why these types of rings or circles are occurring. See, if it's touching this particular, what is this? It's a string, isn't it? It's a string. It's touching the string, so it is very sensitive, so it will start to bend. It is a slow process. Understand? It is not a very fast process. It is a slow process. See, these tendrils are sensitive to touch. When they come in contact with any support, the part of the tendril in contact with the object does not grow as rapidly as the part of the tendril away from the object. So if this part is in touch, see this part, it won't grow. So the other part is not in touch, the opposite side. See, understand? Here this part is in touch with a plant or another fence. This part won't grow. So the other part, this part will grow rapidly. So automatically what will happen? It will bend. Understand how this is happening? Understand? See, this causes the tendril to circle around the object and just cling to it. Cling means that hold to a particular material. Maybe it is a string, maybe it is a rope, maybe it is a stick, maybe it is a wire or fence, whatever, or other trees. That is the method of these plants. Understand? Wherever it comes to contact with any surface, that part won't grow. But the opposite part will grow rapidly, so it will bend and make this circle. So that is another type of movement in plant. State how concentration of auxins stimulates the cells to grow on the side of the shoot. Auxins is another hormone. Understand? Auxins. Auxins are a plant hormone which stimulates growth in plant. Okay, auxin, never forget that word. Another hormones are there that I will tell later. But the first hormone we want to study in plants is auxin. They are growth hormones. Like the pituitary gland in our body secretes growth hormones. Auxins, already these chemical hormones are there in plants, and these auxins are responsible for the growth of the plant. See, when growing part detect light, have you seen these plants and trees bending towards the light? That effect is called as phototropic effect. This one, phototropic movement. It is growth dependent movement. See how it is bending. See, I have a picture for you. Let me take that. Okay, come here. See, this one. Okay, this one is fine. See, this is a particular example for phototropism. Okay, after finishing this one, we will conclude the class. Okay, another photo I have. These are the hormones in plants. This also we want to study in detail. Not detail, only these names you want to study. I will give this picture. Okay, what you want to do? You want to draw it in your notebook. Okay, in textbook in detail it is not given. These are some of the hormones which present in plants. See, gibberellin is there. Gibberellin, auxins are there, cytokinins are there, ethylene is there, abscisic acid is there. Okay, abscisic acid. So these are different types of hormones in plants. Okay, see, this is a germination. You already know what is germination. Okay, these small tendrils comes out of this seed, which is called as germination. Growth to maturity, flowering process, fruit development. Abscission means shedding down of leaves. Understand? Shedding down of leaves. Seed dormancy means in some particular time the seed won't germinate. Understand? The seed won't germinate, so the plant will tell the seed which time to germinate. That means germination is being holded up. Okay, it is holded. That is called as seed dormancy. And which hormones are responsible for all these functions? This chart is easy for understand. See, for example, gibberellin helps in germination of the seed, growth of maturity to the plant, flowering and fruit also is controlled by gibberellin. Auxin does not causes germination, but it causes growth. Okay, auxin is the major growth hormone, and it is responsible for the flowering and fruit development of the plant. Cytokinins, same like auxin. Okay, same like auxin, but auxins are more effective than cytokinins. Ethylene does not support germination, does not support growth, but it support the shedding of the leaves, development of the fruit and flowering. Okay, so the next one is abscisic acid. It only helps in abscission, means shedding down of the leaves, and also seed dormancy means the seed is not allowed to germinate. Germination of the seed is being holded. So these are the hormones. The first hormone we are going to study is auxin. Okay, auxin. Let's see. See, another picture I have for that. Sorry, not this one. So this picture you can see what is phototropism. Okay, let it be a full screen. Okay, fine. So this picture, this is a particular different types of movements in plants we want to study. Okay, control and coordination. First one is phototrophism. Next one is hydrotropism, geotropism, and one more is like chemically something is there. 4 types of movements. So the first one is phototropism. It is nothing. The plant will bend towards the light, and the root will bend away from the light. That is called as phototropism, and negative phototropism and positive phototropism. Okay, the root of a plant, it bends away from the light. The shoot of a plant will bend towards the light. That is phototropism. Why this is happening? Actually, you know that auxins are the plant hormones, isn't it? Growth hormones are auxins. No doubt regarding that. Any doubt? No. So in this case, it is growing straight. means the sunlight is coming directly from the upside. So auxins are equally distributed throughout the stem. So it is growing straight. But in this case, what is happening? Auxins are actually, it does not like sunlight. Understand? Auxins does not like sunlight. When direct sunlights come and fall over auxin, the auxin will hide from the sunlight. Understand? So it will go to the darker part. When sun is in this part, see, here this side will be full of light. But this side, it will be shade. Isn't it? One part light, one part shade. It is a very simple thing. This part it will be shade. And wherever there is shade, this auxin will concentrate in that part. See, auxin moves to the dark side to make cell in that area grow faster. Understand? It is why it is happening, because auxins are not very friendly towards light. So when light is falling from this right side, auxin will move to the left side, and in that part more growth will occur, so that the plant will bend. Understand? Plant bending towards light, positive phototropism. Same is happening here. Understand? Root will grow away from the sunlight. Understand? This is for support. If it is bending to this side, means support must be coming from this part. That is negative phototropism. This is positive phototropism. Understand? Auxins are responsible for this one. Auxins are responsible for this one, and also auxins are not very friendly with the sunlight. So it moves to the darker side of the plant, and only growth causes there. Only this part grows means automatically this part is not growing. So the plant will bend towards light. That is called as what? That is called as phototropism. Another 2 or 3 things are there regarding this phototropism. That also we will try to finish in this class. Come, full screen. Where is full screen? Let it come. Okay, fine. See, when growing part detect light, a hormone called auxin is synthesized at the shoot tip, which helps the cells to grow longer. When the light is coming from one side of the plant, auxin diffuses towards the shady side of the shoot. This concentration of auxin stimulates the cell to grow longer on the side of the shoot which is away from the light. Thus the plant appears to bending towards light. Actually, the plant, why it is bending? Because auxins are running away from the sunlight, and it get concentrated in the darker side, and it will stimulate growth in that part. That's why the plant is bending. Understand? Not because these leaves love sunlight. That's not the reason. Anyway, that's the magic of the science, isn't it? Ever imagined why the plant or the trees are bending? It's only because of the presence of the hormone called as auxin. Auxins are the most important growth hormones in plants, and these auxins are not very friendly to light. Okay, whenever the light is coming from one direction, auxins will try to concentrate in the opposite direction. Understand? To darker side, and it will grow only in that part. Okay, in one part is not growing, the other part is growing, means automatically the plant will bend. Okay, that is the reason why these plants bend towards the light. Okay, this is application level question I will give. The growth in plants part is responsible to light is called as phototropic movement. Definition, 1 mark question. But you must understand what is the reason. Okay, that reason that much elaborately is not given in textbook. That's why I have taken that extra photo for that. Okay, in this slide also they didn't give that. That why I missed to make it in this slide. But that photo I will send it in WhatsApp group, no problem. You can check it, you can refer it, and you can understand that. So that is called as phototropic movement. See, the flower's head of sunflower is positively phototropic, and hence it moves from east to west along with the sun. The flower head, understand? The flower head, the sunflower, why it is called as sunflower? Because every time wherever the sun is, the flower will point into that direction. That's why it is called as sunflower. Okay, morning time it will point to the east side, evening time it will point to the west side. It will bend. Understand? That's why it is called as sunflower. Phototropic movement. The ovary stalk of groundnut is positively phototropic before the fertilization and becomes negatively phototropic after the fertilization, so that the fruit is formed underground. Okay, the ovary stalk of groundnut. Actually, the groundnut first it is blossoming above the ground. After that, it will become negatively phototropic. Okay, this thing I am not very fond of groundnut because in our areas groundnut is not growing. But in Karnataka, lots of places are there. If you ask the farmers who are cultivating this groundnut, they will explain it very well. Understand? They are doing it practically every day. They can bring better explanation than me. Okay, I am not very much found out this groundnut in our part. Groundnuts does not grows. Okay, so the before germination it is positively phototropic, means it will bend towards the sunlight. But after germination, it is negatively phototropic. So, the fruit, that nut will come underground. This is the same reason in onion, potato, what all things are there which grows under the soil. All these things are because of this property. Understand? After germination, it becomes negatively phototropic. So, what is happening? The groundnut or the potato all are growing under the ground. Understand? Just ask the farmers of groundnut farmers. They will tell. They will explain it. Anyway, every year they are seeing it directly. Next one is what? Tropic movement. Next class. Okay. Tropic movements. Negatively geotropic, positively geotropic. Okay. Tropic movement means regarding gravity. This is hydrotropism. And all the next class we will finish this plant. Okay. And after that, we will Monday onwards we will continue. Which one? Animal hormones. Understand what is phototropic movement? It is very important. Understood? See, one more time I will show that photo. This must go. This must come. See, auxin present in this part. Sun coming from this part. Before, see, directly sunlight is coming. Everywhere auxin is distributed. Understand? Everywhere. So, equal growth, straight growth occurring. But in this case, sunlight is only coming from one part. See, this is a barrier which holds the sunlight. Understand? And only from this part sunlight is coming. So, auxin are very shy of sunlight, so it will go the opposite side and it will start growing there. That's the reason the plant is bending. Understand? Okay, my dear kids, that's it. Okay, I hope it was an interesting class. Phototropism is very important. You must study that. Okay, only 2 or 3 types of movements are there from the part of plant, and we will wind it out. Okay, then bye bye. That is good. Stay home, stay safe, and prepare well for the that chapter-wise assessment test of acid, bases, and salts. Okay, bye bye. Jai Hind.